My name is Tatiana, and I'm working as a Chief Communicating Officer at Eternity Life Tourism. So I'm really very happy to see you because many of you have been in touch with me, and it's a pleasure to meet you face to face or screen to screen. And today our speaker is Dr. Salome Mgaloblishvili. She is our Chief Medical Officer, and today's short session is dedicated to the fourth generation CAR-T platform, ForceCAR, developed at GIMI. Dr. Salome will be happy to guide you through the science, treatment process, and real-world results of GIMI's unique protocols. So also, you're welcome to post your questions in the chat during the session or ask them live after the main presentation. So let's begin. Dr. Salome, the floor is all yours.
Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
We see it.
Great. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. My name is Salome and I'm Chief Medical Officer of Eternity Life Tourism, and I'm very happy that we have this opportunity to hold this session on advanced CAR T-cell therapies for hematological malignancies and solid tumors. I would like to say that today's session will cover not only the scientific and clinical aspects of treating patients with oncology indications, but also shed light on how medical tourism works, how we support international patients, and how we collaborate with Shenzhen Geno-Immune Medical Institute. It's important to know, and I would like to say it in forward, that trials and technologies we will be discussing are the intellectual property of the GIMI, and while we will do our best to cover the most important topics, it would be possible that some details may remain proprietary, which is understandable because we all work in clinical trials and we know all these rules. We will give you a closer understanding of our company, of GIMI, and how do they collaborate. So hopefully it will be an interesting session for you. The main topic is advanced CAR T-cell therapy for hematological malignancies and solid tumors. Quickly, I will go through our agenda, which is welcoming introduction, which I have done already, and shortly I will talk a couple of words regarding myself and represent myself, our company, GIMI Institute, missions and visions of the Institute. We'll have short overview, scientific GIMI's CAR T-cell technologies and engineered Immune Effector cells techniques. We will go through clinical trials and indications. Today, we will talk regarding hematological malignancies and solid tumors. We understand that GIMI covers more than 60 registered clinical trials, so it won't be possible. We won't have enough time to cover all the trials, but we will explain the main and the aim of each of them. Also, which is very important, that how to explain how international patient access and coordination is working in our company, how the treatment process goes, and how we support our patients who decide to travel abroad. So my name is Salome. I'm MD and MSc holder. I'm certified clinical hematologist with over than 10 years in experience in treating and diagnosing of hem malignancies and benign disorders of blood. I worked in both in inpatient and outpatient care, and my clinical background starts from Ukraine, continues to Georgia, and I'm involved in clinical research and early phase trials. I serve nowadays as a medical director and corporate clinical operations manager at Herency Exploratory Medicine at Georgia. This is a small clinic which has 14 branches in Europe and one in Arizona, America, and the main office in Düsseldorf. We run first and second clinical trials, almost all indications, beginning from autoimmune diseases, ending with solid tumors and hem malignancies. I'm managing the medical team, our doctors, nurses, principal investigators, also our pharmacy team and quality checkers. This is a unique project, which is partially CRO and also clinic inside. Second, as a hematologist, I'm practicing in a private clinic once in a week as a consultant. And of course, our lovely Eternity Life Tourism, where I'm CMO and managing international projects and patients. Also, I was a former hematologist at Kiev Regional Oncology Dispenser, and I wanted to mention it here because all my career started there with my postgraduate study, and since 2013, first as a student and then as a doctor, I was serving this country and hospital till 2022. If we go through my education background, I graduated Tbilisi State Medical University, then did hematology, clinical hematology postgraduate study in Kiev, and then I did biomedical science masters in UWI, Bristol, in United Kingdom 2 years ago. Regarding certifications, of course, as we all, I hold ICH GCP training certificate. Recently, I've done pharmacology and clinical drug development at Harvard Medical School online. I had advanced training in blood and marrow transplant center in Seattle Cancer Care Alliance in US in 2019. And I'm dual licensed. I have hematology certificate in Kiev and Ukraine, and in both countries I can practice as a clinician. So thank you. I'm happy to see all of you here, and let's move to Eternity Life Tour. Eternity Life Tour is an international patient support company which organizes medical help for international patients from all over the world in collaborative countries. Nowadays, we have more than 15 countries and more than 80 hospitals all around the world. And my main responsibility is to communicate with each of them, put contract, and understand that they have international standards and they can give up-to-dated, high quality, the best treatment for each patient who arrive there for the treatment. I would like to explain a little bit how medical tourism works on the example of our company. This is an online platform where we represent all the countries where we collaborate with the hospitals, represent clinics, represent diseases and indications which we cover. Also, your patient can see hospitals, collaborative hospitals, and the diseases which are covered. So they, when the patient or relative or sometimes even doctors are coming visiting our websites and looking for help or just are curious how different diseases are treated in another country and might be their new option, they can leave a request on our website, and our well-trained medical coordinators who are young medical specialists will get back them in a short notice as convenient for them by email, or first they will make a call if it's convenient for them. They collect anamnesis from the patients, and if they have medical documentation, some imaging tests, labs, they collect all this and try to find the best option for each patient. We understand that sometimes best option for one patient is one, and for another patient it's another, because it depends from which country they come, what is the budget, and what kind of treatment they are looking for. Sometimes people are looking for something what's not available in their country, or sometimes they are looking the same quality but affordable price. After gathering all the information and understanding the needs of the patients, what we do, we contact a couple of hospitals which we think will be the best match for this patient, send all this documentation and request pro forma from them. Pro forma is a medical document where is very much in details listed what kind of procedures, diagnostic tests, and treatments will patient get, and the calculation. If everything is fine and the patient agrees to travel for the treatment, we also assist patient from the very first call till the end of the journey. The patient arrives in the country and gets this medical help. Coordinators are meeting them. We organize transfer, translators, hotel booking. And after finishing the treatment, when they fly back to their country, they get continuous follow-up from us. And while treating, sometimes, because we know it can take a couple of months or sometimes a week, sometimes just one day, if they will need anything, 24 hours to 7, our medical coordinators are in contact with them. So shortly, the mission of Eternity Life Tourism is to give patients around the world access to the most effective science-driven treatment and find the best match for each individual. Let's shortly move to Institute, which gathered us today. This is Shenzhen Geno. Here we can see the whole team of the GIMI Institute, which are working in laboratory and engineering there. The institute is located in China, in a very fancy city named Shenzhen. It was established in 2015 with support from the Shenzhen municipal government. It's a leading research center in China for cell-based immunotherapies and gene therapies under the guidance of Professor Dr. Chang. GIMI brings together top international scientists in molecular biology and biomedical innovation. The Institute, the main breakthrough of the Institute is that they developed this fourth generation CAR-T therapies, and he had treated since 2015 1,000 cancer patients from China and also abroad. They get foreign patients, sometimes from 5 to 10 in a month and more during the month. And it could be solid tumors and hem malignancies. Also, they cover autoimmune diseases, but today we're talking about oncology. If it's going to be interesting, maybe next session we will do regarding autoimmune diseases. The mission of the Institute is to develop affordable, safe, and effective cell and gene-based therapies to help cancer patients achieve longer, as much as it's possible, longer remission. There are registered 60 clinical trials, and GIMI is working very close with the top hospitals of China and have international partnership where they can run their clinical trials as well in Japan, Thailand, and Taiwan. The main goal of the GIMI is to bring CAR-T cell therapy not like the last option of the therapy, but to move it on the front line of treatment. Institute is presenting research results since 2014 on annual meetings at the ASH conferences and congresses. So this was a little bit about the Institute. I would like to represent right now the GIMI's core scientific leadership team. The main person who gathered us today is a Professor Dr. Chang. I want shortly to represent him, and hopefully next session will be with him, and you can give more deep questions to him. As I mentioned already, some of the aspects are his and GIMI's intellectual property, so I might not be able to say everything regarding technology, but I think that he can open some secrets. Professor Chang is the president of GIMI and a leading expert in molecular biology and gene therapy, and he holds PhD from the University of the Iowa. Years he was working in University of Florida College of Medicine, so his main practice was in the United States. He has more than 150 scientific publications and more than 40 international patents, and focuses on developing lentiviral vectors, CAR T-cell therapies, immunotherapies, and he was an advisor of the FDA in United Nations and contributed to over 60 clinical trials, as I said. And for the recognition of his brilliant mind, Chinese government and Shenzhen municipality honored him with $30 million grant and established this Geno-Immune Medical Institute, which is, as I mentioned already, leading in China. Other team members is a Vice President Chang Ping, who holds MSc, and he's also Research and Development Director at GIMI. And Mr. Chang holds a Master's in Microbiology and Immunology. He's owner of 2 patents internationally in CAR T-related treatments, and he takes a big part since 2010 in CAR T-cell therapy development locally in China, in CAR T research and stem cell applications. And this wonderful lady, Xiang Rui, who is also Research and Development Director, earned master's degree in chemical engineering from Beijing Institute and then was trained in Florida. And Wang Yang, who is also Research and Development Director in GIMI and holds master's in marine sciences and biology from the local university. And since 2000, she has specialized in gene delivery, CAR T therapy, and serves in GIMI Institute. So this is our wonderful team in GIMI, and it is nice to talk about the technologies. It is nice to hear how much investment the government made and how successful they are, but nothing is better than to see it with your own eyes. So I will represent short video where you can see very quickly, because we can't put the whole video in this presentation, very quickly the institute, which we have visited, and I'm quite impressed. Hopefully you will like it too, and it will give you a good impression. This is Professor Chang. He's showing the main laboratory right now. They're running immunohistochemistry, PCRs, and everything locally, and they are engineering their cells in this main institution. All equipment and infrastructure is up to date and on the international and standards. So I will move shortly to, I'm sorry. I will move shortly to discuss what does really this 4th generation CAR T-cell therapy means. How does it differ from previous generations, and what is unique there, and why people should travel for the treatment and take part in this clinical trial. It is questionable sometimes that why we should go so far if we are located in Europe, but the main idea of our session is to introduce how unique his technology is and how much work and years of knowledge he put in this development of 4S CAR. First generation CAR T therapy often is referred as a 4S CAR, represents a major advancement over earlier CAR T cell technologies. While the first and third generation CAR T cells focus on targeting and killing cancer cells through enhanced T cells activation, 4S CAR introduces several key innovations that make the therapy more precise, safer, effective, and effective for the cancers which do not answer on a protocol guideline treatment and are resistant cancers. One of the most critical improvements what Dr. Chang developed is a safety switch called the inducible caspase-9, ICASP-9 system. This is a suicide gene, is engineered directly into the CAR T cells and remains inactive under normal conditions. For when the treatment is administered, it is switched off. But if the clinician sees that patient is getting severe side effects and serious side effects and immune-related side effects such as cytokine release syndrome, grade 3 and 4, and neurotoxicity icons, grade 2 and upper, and the treatment is becoming life-threatening, a specific drug, typically AP1903, can be administered to this patient. This drug activate the ICASP-9 protein, triggering rapid controlled apoptosis, cell death, and CAR T cells are dying and effectively stopping the toxic response and protecting the patient. The safety mechanism allows clinicians to maintain real-time control over the therapy, and we as clinicians can understand that when we are getting severe side effects, it will be the wonderful one click to help the patient to avoid and go through this long suffer and recovery. Biosafety for CAR T cell also include enhanced immunological memory signaling, enabling the T cells to persist longer in the body and respond more robustly to the cancer recurrence. So the cells have their memories, and additionally 4S CAR platforms are designed for multi-antigen targeting, allowing a single CAR T product to recognize and attack multiple tumor-associated antigens at once, and this is reducing relapses and also resistance of the tumor. In summary, the next generation CAR T to the previous ones is improved safety through the ICASP-9 switch, longer lasting immune protection via memory enhanced signaling, and a broader efficacy because it is targeting multiple cancer markers. I think it is quite powerful, quite innovative, and nowadays we can't see the same technology anywhere in Europe or United States. And the second key treating option what I want to introduce you today, this is engineered immune effector cells treating mostly solid tumors. Engineered immune effector cells are personalized immunotherapy that strengthens the body ability to fight specific infections and cancers. And let me introduce how does it work. The process of engineering immune effector cells starts with PBMS, which we all well know, and then we're separating monocytes and lymphocytes. Next, monocytes are transformed into dendritic cells, which represent disease-specific antigens to lymphocytes. This presentation sends two key activation signals. The T cell receptor TCR recognizes the antigen MHS complex, and cause stimulatory signals through CD28, CD80, 86, and fully activates the lymphocytes. After activation, the immune cells are grown and multiplied in the lab over 12 or 14 days. Maximum what it can take is 70 days. And it's producing a mix of CD4 and CD8 T cells, natural killers, NKT cells, and typically cells numbers, they are twofold, they are doubled and sometimes even tripled. And finally, trained IE cells are reinfused to the patient, where they target disease cells precisely with minimal side effects. This therapy can be used alongside chemotherapy. It is very effective that you can still treat the patient with chemo, radiotherapy, or surgery, and specifically after tumor removal to boost localized immune response, because they can recognize these cancer cells, and if nothing is left, they can be activated and still on the cell level fight these tumor cells. Let's move to the clinical trials and indications and how we use these fourth generation CAR-T and engineered immune effectors in which indications. Of course, as I have mentioned, I can't cover 60 clinical trials and I can't go in the depths and can't share the protocol with you, but I will try to cover the main aspects. GIMI is actively conducting a wide array of early phases clinical trials, and mostly all they are first and second phases in solid tumors. And it includes both monovalent and B-specific CAR T-cell therapies, engineered immune effector cells, and dendritic cell vaccines. The trials cover a broad spectrum of malignancies like glioblastoma, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, lung cancer, breast, prostate cancer, sarcomas, and I can't mention all of them right now here. Majority of the solid tumors. Doesn't matter, it's third stage, fourth stage, treated or untreated, not depending on tumor burden as well. The tumors which are expressing specific markers, GD2, PSMA, CD17, CD56, and CD276, all of that could be covered and treated. The key approaches involving fourth generation CAR T therapy, multi-target approach, and as I mentioned, immune cell engineering to enhance antigen recognition and overcome tumor escape mechanisms. So these bispecific CAR T cells simultaneously targets dual antigens, aiming to increase efficacy and minimize relapse. So I would like and of course GIMI is working, as I have mentioned, with Chinese top hospitals, and they are working with the medical team together, and I will show a couple of hospitals which they are collaborating a little bit later. As I have mentioned, it is phase 1 and 2 trials, so sadly for now I can't represent safe efficacy data for now, but as I have mentioned that there were treated more than 1,000 patients with quite long survival rate, it means that it is working pretty nicely. Regarding the hematological malignancies, GIMI is advancing an extensive portfolio. It is quite unique that in GIMI Medical Institution, they are treating even acute myeloid leukemia with CAR T cell therapy, which is quite unique and you can't meet it anywhere else. Also they cover B-cell malignancies, T-cell lymphomas, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and acute myeloid leukemia, as I have mentioned, and myelomas. Several studies target relapse or refractory B-cell malignancies, and using bispecific CAR-Ts against combinations like CD19-22, CD19-CD70, CD19-CD17-9B. Trials also investigate novel multi-antigen CAR-T combinations for more resistant hematological cancers. And they are using this universal CAR-T platform for treating acute myeloid leukemia. And later I would like to cover this trial also because I think it is quite unique, and nowhere in the world you will find treating AML with CAR-T cell therapy. And I would like you to see the mechanism a little bit. This is I would like to show that this is a quote on trials.gov.com of these trials, the universal CAR-T cell targeting AML, the uniqueness and mechanisms of the action. This is a phase 1 trial, investigates off-shelf universal allogeneic CAR-T cell products designed to simultaneously target 4 antigens commonly expressed in acute myeloid leukemia. This is a CLL1, CD33, CD38, and CD123. So unlike traditional autologous CAR-T therapies that require individualized cell manufacturing, this universal CAR-T is already pre-manufactured. It is readily available, and patients, especially who are compromised bone marrow function and are not able even to wait 2-3 weeks the cells to be manufactured, it is life-saving because it's readily available. Once the patient gets infusion, the CAR-T cells bind their respective antigens on leukemic blast and initiating a cytotoxic immune response aimed at eliminating malignant cells. This is a multi-target approach, and it helps to reduce likelihood of antigen escape and potentially improving treatment durability. Risks and benefits from this very, very early stage, what can we say? That first of all, the main benefit is that this is rapidly available, and this is crucial for patients critically ill with AML patients. We know how quickly they progress. And second is a broader targeting, that it simultaneously targets multiple antigens and may decrease relapse risk and overcoming resistance mechanisms and tumor cells to escape the treatment. What about the risk? We all understand that on target of tumor toxicity, such antigens like CD33 and CD38 can have healthy cells also, which can rise the toxicity, cause cytopenias, and bone marrow suppression. Immune-related adverse events risk includes cytokine release syndromes and neurotoxicity. Also, safety data from this phase 1 trial is not available, but from previous mimicking trials we can see it. But I already mentioned the uniqueness that we can administer medication which can activate this escape and stop CAR-T cell from working if it becomes very, very severe. I think I have already covered efficacy and early promises. So I will summarize regarding this AML trial, and I will leave in the references the place where you can find in more deep details, understand the trial. So this trial is, as I said, offers immediately available multi-specific universal CAR-T cell designs to swiftly and robustly treat relapsed and refractory AML patients. And it's a quite advanced treatment, which is not anywhere in the world is available except Geno-Immune Medical Institute. So Shortly, I would like to represent some of the very small part of the hospitals GIMI is collaborating in China. The first one is the First People's Hospital, which is located in Yunnan. They have very strong hematology department, very strong oncology department, and as you see from sizes of the hospital, it is multidisciplinary. They have wonderful ICU, well-trained doctors, and very good collaborative team. I would say the same regarding the third affiliated hospital of Kunming. Also regarding the Hospital of Southern Medical University Hospital in Chuanjing, Shenzhen Children's Hospitals, and yes, Jimmy and Professor Chang takes children's also with malignancies and solid tumors as well, but mostly they had with malignancies. Xinjiao Hospital of Guangzhou and the 7th affiliated hospital located as well nearby the Shenzhen. This was a little overview of scientific work of GIMI, how the institute operates, how they collaborate with different hospitals and what kind of diseases they are covering and what is the main and unique part of this treatment. I think that this topic should be covered as well. I know that my speech is quite long and you might got tired already, but in a couple of words, I will mention the treatment process, which is a little bit differs from usual cases because we have different type of collaboration with GIMI. First of all, we are contacted by the doctors in these cases, and we are getting case from the doctors treating physicians like you. I by myself also, if I'm thinking that my patient will benefit from the treatment and CAR T cell therapy, which can provide GIMI, I'm contacting the professor and the coordinating team, sending all the medical documentations and the treatment history and the status, what status the patient has right now on evaluation. In this case, you will contact us if you decide to send patients for the treatment. We, together with GIMI and together with collaborative hospital medical team, will take a deep look, make a medical overview, and give a second opinion what kind of treatment we can offer. Also indicate what will be targeted in each individual case, and the approach for each patient will be individual depending in their cases immunohistologically which markers are more presented. After that, we will provide you with a program, and it was mentioned. And if the patient and you decide that it will be beneficial for the patient and they will decide to travel for the treatment, we would like to say that preparation of CAR T will last from 5 to 7 days. And after infusion, it depends case by case how long patient will stay in China. Sometimes it's a week and sometimes it's 3-4 weeks because they need follow-up and support and just getting better. You understand that. And briefly, which is also very important part is the cost of the treatment in hematological and solid tumors. It starts from 100K to 200, depending on the indication, depending trial protocol, how long will be in patient care, what kind of drugs will be used, and etc. What does this price include? It includes cell collection, vector engineering, ICAS-9 equipped for CAR T cell manufacturing, infusion, and hospital stays. I think it's quite clear, but I will underline that it excludes traveling fees, initial diagnostics, and post-discharge expenses. And knowing the market in Europe and US and Canada, I would say that it is way, way cheaper. And it's both cost effective and also next generation with a lot of more opportunities to get remission than previous generations. Thank you for being here today, but I would like to underline that if we will be collaborating with each physicians, we want to say that we treat them as our partners, and our prices are quite transparent. And as it's a little bit different approach, working with GIMI and working directly with doctors, we understand how much time each patient needs, how deeply we will need sometimes due to being into the case time to time. And when you will be referring the patients, we will have a referral system that each doctor will get referral $2,000. This is a recognition. This is for the time the doctor is spending being on a line with us if we need help with his patient to understand some deeper nuances which are not covered in medical history, for example, and be next to the doctors on the follow-up after the patients are getting back to hospital. I think it was all. Thank you very much. Appreciate that you listened 40 minutes of my speech. Hope you are not tired and bored, and it was interesting. And please feel free to ask any questions. If we don't get a chance to answer everything during the session or now, or we don't have readily answers, we will be happy to follow up you, and please, we will send these contacts which are on the screen, and you can anytime contact us and we will get back to you quickly. I will stop sharing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you much. Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
First of all, I would like to thank you for breaking up and explaining such complicated therapy into some simple examples and simple blocks, so we have more understanding of how it works in general. But you mentioned the referral system and the collaboration between ELT and GIMI institution. But when we compare, like if the treatment is arranged through the ELT platform or the patient go directly to the clinic, are there any extra fees that ELT charges from patients?
Okay, thank you, Konstantin. It's really good question because this is the main rule of maternity life tourism since 2022 when it was established, that we never add any extra charges. To be clear and make it understand easily, we work as the international department of the hospitals. We represent them, and they are paying to us fees like to international department. So it doesn't matter, patient will go directly to the clinic or they will use our services to make it smoother, easier, relaxed, everything organized. They will pay the same price. Plus, we guarantee that they will get what we promised from the beginning. We know that it is very stressful time to go abroad and just for traveling. Imagine when the patient is heavily ill. They need real support and they have this brain fog, they are nervous, their relatives are nervous. So we organize, we assist them, we help them, but we don't charge them because we get compensation from the hospitals, bringing patients, to be transparent, bringing clients in their facility.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you much.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got another one.
Yes, please.
Please. Yeah, just to underline and for more understanding of the process of CAR T cell treatment. So it's like a one-time infusion, or do patients require to redo it in his follow-up?
It is very much depends and varies from case to case, from the tumor and what we are targeting. It could be one session, could be two sessions. Patient might go back to home and then come for third and fourth session. Depends, but mostly it's like covered in one or two sessions.
And every session is cost like varying from 100 to 200?
It depends. I'm sorry for interrupting, but it depends and it varies very much from the case. Sometimes there are manufactured enough cells to use for second time and price may differ. Also, of course, the tumor burden isn't the same like on the first time. If the patient is doing second time, most likely it means that it's working, because if they continue progressing, of course, they are not coming for next sessions. So it's very much varies from the case to case, and of course, it's not the same price. It won't be the same price for the second and third sessions.
Okay. And maybe it's the last one from my side. So CAR T cell therapy is primarily was intended for treating hematological problems like and leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia is the greatest example. But regarding the solid tumors, as you mentioned, it also can be used. But what is this GIMI's approach for dendritic cell vaccines? Could you please elaborate on this is used?
You are asking regarding the vaccines which institution is providing for the patients with solid tumors, which is, yes, I will explain shortly regarding this disease, which are dendritic cells. This disease are modified to carry tumor antigens, including unique cancer mutations, identifying using next generation sequencing, and they are using also AI tools nowadays to understand this next generation sequencing. And once injected, the DC activate killer T cells and nature killers, which are working against the cell to destroy the cancer. And they also, what they do, they also release immune boosting signals to make the response stronger. And these vaccines also have this T cell memory, which, how do they work? If the cancer is coming back, they recognize them and boost immune system and attack that. What is really magical, that you can use this vaccination with simultaneously with other treatments like surgery and like chemotherapy and immunotherapy, and also with checkpoint inhibitors. Shortly, I tried to explain, hope it helped.
Yeah, so yeah, just like in general, it's the process for this treatment, like the step up for both solid tumors and hematologic are pretty much the same.
Yes, because these vaccines helps the immune system to fight against cancer now and in future. If there will be recurrence, then on the cell level will recognize them and attacks them and will fight against them.
Okay, thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please, Dr. Folinas, you had a question, right?
Yes. First of all, I would like to thank you for your presentation. It is known that in hematological malignancies, the CAR T cells were a revolutionary approach. But in solid tumors, the trials didn't confer any benefit in PFS or OS. And seeing the presentation give certain hopes with the new approach and the new generation of CAR T cells. And not only a lot about biology, the rationale into in a cellular level is remarkable, I would say. The previous questions from their colleague were also my questions, but they were answered. I have to say that Dr. Mgaloblishvili wasn't available to administrative affairs in the hospital, and told me to excuse him for his absence. And although I'm not on liberty to say to ask furthermore questions, I would like to say that on the first level, I'm impressed with the rationale of the approach and with what GIMI institution and you have to offer. It would be remarkable if we see some results in solid tumors. Dr. Mgaloblishvili told me to thank you. I will give him my impressions from this webinar and this presentation. And he would love to talk to you via a webinar in another time. And he would like for you to, if you could send him a copy of the presentation, of parts of the presentation, mostly about the mechanisms. And he would be very glad that sarcomas are included in those solid tumors target, because he's a specialist in rare tumors and sarcomas in particular. And he would like if you send him a CTA via mail. That's it.
Thank
And
you
what
very
makes
much.
him very, very satisfied.
Sorry, could you please repeat?
From all I've seen today, I'm very satisfied
Thank you. Thank you
in
very much.
many levels.
We appreciate,
Thank you very much.
as a doctor, you understand that we would love to go in depth of some clinical trials and some deeper mechanisms and technologies, but as it's intellectual property, sadly, we can't share everything. But when it will come regarding the patient, and
Okay, you could do another presentation, a similar presentation via webinar in the future.
Of
But
course, and that's
I
why
will,
we're trying to
I will,
Dr.
I will give him the pinpoints of the presentation that I'm sure he will be very glad.
And if it will be helpful, sorry, Tatiana, if it will be helpful, we will also, in follow-up email, we will send you the links to all solid tumors, clinical trials on clinicaltrials.gov, because there is more deeply written what is approach, what is targeting, pathway, and mechanism.
Thank you.
And we can thank you so much for your feedback, Dr. Folines, and also we can share with your director this recording, and we'll send him the presentation so he will be able to see everything, if it's okay.
No, this last as part of the CDA is concerned, that is his idea and directive. But as far as the presentation, it was my idea, and I didn't know that it was that it could not be sent, and I'm sorry if I made a mistake for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe one more question. We have 5 minutes left. Okay, so thank you so much. It was a great session. We were a little bit more than 40 minutes. Sorry for that, but Dr. Mgaloblishvili likes to be, let's say, in very deep conversation and give you all the detailed information, because we know that you need this. So anyways, if you will have any more questions, feel free to reach me through LinkedIn. You know, I'm 24 hours on it, or you can write directly to Dr. Salome. So anyways, if something will be interesting for you, we will have another session, and maybe we will be we will invite our professor to it. So maybe that'll be more interesting and more detailed in discussion. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. We will stay in touch, and please follow us at Eternity Life Tourism on LinkedIn. Stay updated with the new events, with the news, with the new cases, and have a wonderful day and a lovely weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.